Today I'm bringing you the most definitive guide on how I can fix your blocked, stuck, spun out the way, downswing impact condition that makes you lose golf balls and shoot big numbers. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm talking to you about stuck, out of sequence, in your downswing, the club and you out of orientation and making you block it to the right. This is a really interesting topic, and today I'm going to give you six ingredients that you need to look out for as to why you might be getting stuck, spun out the way, block. Big thanks to S. Forbes on my channel for requesting this after a short that I did. It's a biggie, and actually if you saw my debut on Sky Sports Thursday and Friday, it's only taken me a minute before I got that in. I thought I'd throw it in. Josh Antman and I were talking about swing technique, and one of the things that he battles with is how his right arm gets trapped behind him and fat shots and out to the right. So I wanted to do today a video on getting stuck. There are, as I say, there are 6 ingredients that you might consider. My channel has never been one that you must do this to fix that, because I don't know what you are applying in your golf swing, shall we say. So the first up is the grip. Look, the grip has been a huge player in all of my coaching on this channel, and if you have not seen my grip series, please go and watch it. But the grip, I don't want to go on about it too much, but the grip with your left hand needs to be in the fingers. In the fingers, so that the pad of this left hand sits on the top of the golf club. This will create a decent kink in your left hand. If you have a left forearm and a left wrist all lined up, get yourself off home, get yourself a cup of coffee, sit on the armchair, watch the golf and work on your grip. Because I promise you, you go down the range working on a grip with a left arm and a left wrist angle in line, you are wasting your time. Sure, Bryson DeChambeau does it. He's got a nice straight line down through there. In fact, his left arm is actually turned down. Well, for the lion's share of people, I don't think this is particularly a good one. And I think actually Bryson could be a bit better if he gripped it a little differently. But again, that's another whole topic. And I might do a swing review on Bryson's swing, because I think it's quite interesting. So the first one is your hold. The reason why the hold is so important is because if you actually get yourself out of sequence in a downswing, and when we talk about out of sequence, it's when the lower half has rotated out of the way, the handle is driving out to the right because the arms have been left behind, and the face is now open. What a good grip allows you to do, if you are in that condition, a stronger hold then allows you to gather it up and unload it and hit a ball that draws away to the left. If I was in that same orientation and my grip was weak, even if I tried to save it, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to because the face isn't strong enough. So a grip immediately rescues that golfer that is out of orientation at impact, face is blocking out to the right. The stronger grip gives that golfer a chance to rescue it and just makes him feel better about himself. And if you've watched enough of my videos, anyone that's missing the golf ball to the left, the repercussions of that are far greater and far better for you than missing the ball to the right, because the ball speed is greater when you miss the ball left than the ball speed when you miss the target right. And anybody that feels better about slow ball speed is not normal, because as soon as you have low ball speed, you feel like you've got to grip it harder, you've got to swing faster, and you've got to do all of the wrong things in your game to fix it. So grip is important. The second one up is shoulder pitch. Shoulder pitch is the angle in a backswing that your shoulders are pitched at, whether they are pitched down or they're pitched up. This shoulder pitch will dictate how much arm lift you invariably have. And oddly, the flatter, well, not oddly really, but how people might perceive it as odd, shoulder pitches that are flat invariably have arm swings that are steep. Shoulder pitches that are steep invariably have arm swings that are flat, because it's a balancing act. That's a generalization, but if you had 100 golfers, you would see those traits. So shoulder pitch flat, arms up. Shoulder pitch steep, arms down. The reason why the shoulder pitch is so important is because if the shoulder pitch is not well orientated to set up and backswing, your arms then have to take up the slack. So if you get someone set up to the golf ball with their spine very upright, and then they start making a golf swing where the shoulder plane is very flat, they'll lift their arms up to try to get some angle of attack. Now, as soon as your arms start to work either excessively above plane or excessively below plane, now you've got to gather that up. So shoulder pitch is a biggie. A good way to start to think about shoulder pitch is making sure that your setup's right. So when you're setting up to the golf ball, we're looking for the spine and the club shaft as close to possible an angle between the shaft and the spine at 90 degrees. So now as I start to move the golf club, and I start to move the golf club in and around me, I start to get my shoulder pitch appropriate to my spine angle. This will change the way your arm plane works. So shoulder pitch is really, really important, but it invariably comes from how you've set up to the golf ball. The second one, or the third ingredient here, is your shaft orientation at the top of your backswing. The more a club shaft points across the line, as we pull the handle towards the golf ball, what happens is the head weight, if we didn't fight the head weight would try to pull itself back this way, because of course if I was across the line and then I tried to apply the club shaft onto the golf ball, I would have an excessive outside in path. And I'm going to do the same. So that was 20 degrees outside in. So I'm now going to do exactly the same motion, but this time I'm going to have a differently orientated club face. Missed it. I missed it because the face was so wide open that when I glanced across it, I couldn't actually make contact. That'll make good for the edit. So swinging across it with a face open, let's see if I can get TrackMan to actually pick that one up. So face open, I'm going to swing across it. There you go, got that one. So again, across the back of the ball, out to the right, didn't pick it up, but you know, it was out to the right and the path was working across. So that shaft pitch, the more it's across the line as I pull the club in, the more the club shaft will try to lay itself down late on through strike. And the reality is that this is the ingredient, the shaft trying to lay itself down late in an impact delivery is the ingredient that you're feeling as a golfer that's making the ball go to the right. It's the point that the shaft wants to do this, elevate the handle and drop the head back, that makes a golfer hit it off to the right. Now, when S. Forbes commented on making it feels like my hips are too open, his hips only feel too open because the handle is going in a different direction to the pelvis. So as the handle is going off over here, and the hips are going off of here, over here, this left arm rises up and it now throws my back into extension and to a little bit of side bend, which makes the golfer feel like, oh, I've spun out the way of it. Well, if we look at the golfers in the world, I did a piece on Min Woo Lee on Thursday on Sky Sports. His hip action, I mean, his hips are at the target, at the point of contact, like almost full on pointing at the target. Why is he not blocking it right? So to think that their hips spun too fast is absolute nonsense. They just spun out of orientation to the handle. The hip went left, the handle went up, face opened out and went to the right. So therefore, depending on where the shaft pitch is, and invariably people are trying to cross the line, or not trying to, but end up with a cross the line shaft at the top because of the way they take the golf club away, because of the way they hold it, and because of the beliefs that they have in how they want to move the club down, which is a whole new topic, which will be covered, but I'm just starting to get ourselves warmed up here, makes the shaft on the way down try to stand itself up. So therefore, we see and understand that golfers that have a shaft more laid down, when they pull on the golf club, all of a sudden, the stability of this shaft compared to the stability of this shaft, yes, you can play from both sides, but we're understanding what might encourage more of a stuck feel through strike. So shaft pitch at the top is a biggie. Then we're looking at pressure through the strike with the handle. How we apply force on the handle underneath. So I'm pushing the handle down, you can appreciate yet again that the pressure on the handle is making the shaft stand up through strike and now making the loft of the club look down to the golf ball. If I've got the handle's ability to now push down underneath me, that pressure down into the floor really allows me to stop the handle drifting up and off to the right and opening the face. Most people don't even believe that they should be pulling on the golf club. So if you're not pulling on the golf club and you're not pressuring the handle, you're going to really miss an opportunity. So understanding where this light end needs to be pushed and pulled around with is important. So the handle pressure through strike, and if you've seen it, you need this drill video where I've got 2 bands wrapped around my neck. Go back and check that out. Because the pressure that we exert on the handle through strike is essential. But that leads us onto the pressure up through the leg action, creating vertical force up from the toe to the heel. Again, covered this on Sky Sports. The pressure from the toe to the heel really opens the hip up and allows the force on the pressure down through strike to square and align the face up. So for someone to say, I spin out the way, and what that person has asked me to do is slow my hips down and start to work the club differently, is poor. You need to understand this is multifaceted. You are trying to move the golf club around you at speed to hit a golf ball straight, and you need to understand all of the ingredients in play here to make that club swing and hit the golf ball in a straight line. And I cover that in so many of my videos, but this is a big topic. This comes into the stuck, spun out the way, early extension, all of that stuff. The 6th and final ingredient is the club weight. The heavier the golf club, the more a golfer will have to pull it to get it started. Now, if you're not a puller of the club at the top of the backswing, you're going to need a golf club that's awfully light. If you're someone that is a puller and got some muscle about you, you're going to need a golf club that's a bit heavier. So depending on whether you are someone that's always worked on trying to turn out the way, just turn out the way and not pull the golf club, you're going to need a golf club that's light. Or if you're someone that's actually feeling like you can physically pull on the golf club, now all of a sudden you're creating speed with the handle. But either way, you need to understand what you do, and so does the fitter. So when the fitter watches you hit shots, he should be able to see whether you pull or are a turner or don't really pull the golf club. Therefore, being stuck is a very complex set of principles. And I have done videos on the grip, I've done videos on the shaft pitch, I've done videos on shaft orientation, because in transition, I've done videos on pressure on the handle, I've done videos on leg action, and today I've talked about club weight. So you've got all of the info out there on my channel, just go back through and watch them. But understand that being stuck is an aggregation of multiple parts of how we move as a golf swing. I hope you'll find something in there that's going to really stop you from blocking it, spinning out the way, getting stuck, because it's really, really easy to fix. Really easy to fix, but you need to understand how this ecosystem of a golf swing works for real. I think you'll find that's good for coaching, my friends. If you've liked this video, do hit the like, share and subscribe while you're here, and I look forward to seeing you next time.